These teams love the long ball. Arkansas has 79 home runs this season. That's the most in the SEC, second most in the country. Tennessee not too far behind. They have 65 home runs. But it's not just that. So many key players and starters have transferred away from Rocky Top. And I wanted to show this because if you look, Velus is facing the wrong direction. He's supposed to be going this way.
We got a fan coming in.
Balls win.
Oh, we got Folky. What's up, Folky? How about that win?
What are we doing?
It's Folky. It's Folky. Well, somebody came up behind me and was like, hey, can I jump in here? And I was like, no, you cannot. But it's focusing. He can do whatever he wants. I hear what you're saying. Tennessee good too. Yes, the Vols are very good. However, the players, coaches, and fans of the other programs believe their squads can also win. That's all I'm saying. So usually you see something on TV, it's about 8 seconds after it happens. Well, because ESPN's using the camera crews here, all the wiring and everything will be synced. So you will not have to worry about hearing the fans inside and then 8 seconds later wondering why they're screaming. We will all be screaming at the same time. So after you won the women's championship, you were on the card on the way to an interview and you were praying. A lot of people usually pray to get to the championship. You were praying after winning the championship. We have the clip of it right there. Why did you do that? Why was that so important in that moment? It is week 2 of the high school football season. Bragging rights on the line in a couple counties and teams making statements. Let's get right to it. Montario Hardesty hitting the circle button. My gamers know what I'm talking about. He went right around a South Carolina defender on Halloween in 2009. Legend has it that the Gamecocks jersey was clean after this play because Hardesty put him in a spin cycle. There's an elephant in the room. We can't ignore it. It's the size of Texas and Oklahoma. Let's talk about it. Reports from multiple outlets say the Longhorns and Sooners could soon be members of the SEC. The fan you just saw right there, Sean Barraquette, he says UCF was in the Stone Age before White became their AD. They feel like he's left the place in a much better place than he found it years ago. In case you missed it, the baseball Vols beat down Western Illinois like they forgot to take the chicken out the freezer. Tennessee outscored the Leathernecks 45-4. The hustle don't stop. Grind don't quit, because in just a few hours we will be at Neyland Stadium for the Johnny Majors Classic. Pitt taking on UT. Real quick, Karthik, what are you looking for in that game? Ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. The Atlanta Braves are your World Series champions for the first time in generations. Yes, generations. And it took some generational accomplishments to get to this point. I want to go through those. To me, the catalyst was NLDS Game 4, when Freddie Freeman became the first Brave to hit a go-ahead home run in the 8th inning or later to clinch a playoff series. And then in the NLCS, the Braves finally beat the Dodgers in a playoff series. It was the first since 1996. They had lost all 3 previous series, 2013, 2018, and 2020. Finally got it done in 6 games. World Series Game 1, Charlie Morton pitched with a fractured fibula. 16 pitches, 0 ER, 2 Ks to go along with that. That's just a generational performance. That's called putting it on the line for your team. Game 3, Ian Anderson becomes just the 4th rookie in MLB history with at least 5 no-hit innings in a playoff game. Just the 2nd in World Series history, the 1st since 1912. And then in Game 4, Dansby Swanson, Jorge Soler become the first duo to hit back-to-back home runs in a World Series game to tie and then take the lead since 1981. All of those things leading to the Game 6 victory over Houston in Houston to win the World Championship. And isn't it ironic that it was in Houston? Just 8 miles away from Minute Maid Park is NRG Stadium, the home of Super Bowl 51. Atlanta fans, I don't need to tell you what happened in Super Bowl 51. We all know. But it feels like a wrong was righted. A demon was exorcised on Tuesday night.
It's the camera.
Every parent has heard this sound. Say what you will about the crying babies.
He's hungry.
To parents Nikki and Shadima,
People are gonna think I'm a bad mom.
it's as sweet as your favorite tune. Twins Chelucci and Shia Mezier are both here after doctors said one of them should not.
2 doctors sat me down and told me that we would have to terminate this baby so that he could live, and I just shut down. I didn't really know how to feel.
Nikki decided to fight for both boys. She saw an OBGYN practice at Fort Sanders that admitted her into the medical center the same day.
I got there and they were like, you can't leave.
That was March 24th. She stayed there until June. All the while, her husband, Shadima, is away in Nigeria, unable to come to the United States until after Nikki gave birth.
I do know that he was born just under 3 pounds, and then he was born 8 pounds 11 ounces, but 2 pounds of that was fluid.
That meant more fighting, this time with Mom and the babies separated.
I really wasn't together. I think any mom who is told that they're going to lose a child is not going to be together. So to be honest, I wasn't together.
Schiele went through 2 successful procedures. On July 22nd, this family of 4 left the hospital. And there it is, the sweet tune.
I'm Walter Matthew Strickland. I'm 38 years old, born February 11th, 1983, proudly in Harriman, Tennessee, born and raised right here in East Tennessee. As a younger man, I didn't have very good influences. I was more on like my father's side of the family, and they were more into like the not so good lifestyle. My own biological father abused opiates and just turned me on to them as a young man like it was normal, and I never really knew any different. It led me to stronger things, street drugs, heroin. I committed crimes in the name of it. I would steal, do whatever I had to do. I would hurt whoever no one mattered. I was on the run for a year, so I was looking over my shoulder for a long time before it ever came to fruition where they actually got me. And I was almost begging to be caught.
Strickland served time at the Anderson, Knox, and Roane County detention centers. It was at this facility in Kingston where his life changed.
The Roane County jail system has programs, faith-based programs, work-related programs to actually help rehabilitate inmates instead of just incarcerate them. They moved me to the workers pod, and from there I just worked my way into the programs because like I said, at first it was just a way to get out of the pod and not be locked down for 23 hours a day. I was in a Inside Out Dads class. I cannot remember the name of the gentleman that was teaching the class that day, but he had said something that just struck me like just through my core, and I could not hold it back anymore. Like basically, like, what are you waiting on? God has been waiting on you this whole time, and like, what are you waiting on? And I don't know what it was. I got down on my knees in front of probably 20 men. I felt like this extreme weight lifted off of me and a cleansing feeling, like almost like getting hit with cold water that doesn't shock you, you know what I mean? Like it just hit me all over, and it was just right. May 21st, 2017, I accepted the Lord, and basically my life hasn't done anything but get better since then.
Strickland became an employee of Roane County Parks and Recreation. A few weeks ago, he heard of a tryout for the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship boxing promotion. A fan of fighting, Strickland gave it a shot.
So I sent paperwork in. They responded in kind and said, you're welcome, you're invited to come down and try out. We'll see what you got. You've got 100-something other guys that are trying to get this spot that I'm trying to get. I can't allow that to happen. I got to get it.
He did get it. Strickland impressed the scouts. He signed a 3-fight deal with Bare Knuckle Management just 2 days after the tryout. A professional fighter who's already knocked out his toughest opponent.
Like I said, God is good. I've been blessed immensely since then.
Is there anything else you would like to add that you feel like needs to be part of this story?
Yeah, I do. I have a strained relationship with my 2 daughters. My ultimate goal in my life is not to be a successful fighter, is not to be a champion, is not to be any of those things. It's to be a father and to be a good role model